What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about why I still think the R1250GS is the better buy over the 1300GS. Let's get after it. So there's a ton of cool new features on this new bike, and it does kind of look cool, but it's not my favorite look. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. You do have a ton of new cool features, and definitely one of my favorite features is the keyless luggage that comes on this thing. I've really been waiting for something like that for a while, but it looks like it's going to be in plastic and not aluminum, so that's a bit of a disappointment there. Let's get into some of the reasons why I think the 1250 is still a better buy than the 1300. One of the big things I think we're all talking about is the looks on this bike because it's not what we expected. I love personally the 1200 and 1250 look, that aggressive, mean, big, intimidating look. I think it's really incredible. I think this graphic I stole from Tally Ho Tech does it perfect justice. He's talking here about how people absolutely love the older Defender compared to the newer Defender, and this is just kind of a comparison. I think definitely you can see there's some great tech on this newer motorcycle, but you're giving up just a ton on those looks. I would much rather be with that classic, incredible peak look of the GS, which I really think is the 1250. And, just like the Defender, they kind of got away from that. Even though there's better tech, it's not necessarily looking better. This is my GS 1250, and I absolutely love this thing. I love how beefy and beastly it is. It's just amazing. Love the look of it. I think this is peak GS right here. Although this thing does have some pretty cool tech, I love those new blinkers, you can't get away from the fact that it looks like an NC750. If I'm buying a luxury motorcycle for this much money, I don't expect it to look like a much less expensive Honda lower-end touring motorcycle. So one comment that I get often when I'm riding this bike is everyone's like, whoa, that thing is huge. And it looks intimidating, and that's what I love about it. I mean, it doesn't look like something everybody can ride. And then once you ride it, it's really easy to ride. So another thing for me that's a deal breaker is really rideability. I'm not saying that the new features on the new GS are bad. I think they're all really great improvements. And I think that things like adaptive cruise control, that's probably amazing. The blinkers in the hand guards, and there's a ton of other features that look really, really great. I hear the quick shifter is much, much smoother. But for me, all of these things are definitely going to make it a better road bike, which is normally what I do, but there are plenty of people that take these things off-road, and those features aren't necessarily going to help you off-road. If anything, it's just one more expensive thing you're going to have to fix if you lay it down. At the end of the day, who really cares what it looks like on paper, because really what's important is how it rides. The GS has actually had more torque in the adventure motorcycle lineup in many, many years, but people still prefer the KTM because they say that they love the throttle delivery. So, it seems to be a much faster motorcycle and more responsive in the throttle. But the GS is absolutely incredible to ride, and I love it. I wouldn't choose another motorcycle in this lineup. I think this has got to be my number one pick, and still is my number one pick after the 1300GS. A lot of people are saying that once you spec these things completely out, or if you want the green model that's completely specced out, you're looking at upwards of $30,000 for this motorcycle. If their goal was to target a much younger generation of people that are geared more towards the multistrada, they've done a really good job at this, because I do think it has a much sleeker, clean look. It looks less intimidating and easier for people to just jump on and go for a spin. If that's what they've been trying to do, I think they've done a great job, and they've given us all of the tech that we could ever possibly want on a motorcycle. It's just not my cup of tea, and the look really kills it for me. Another thing that is a big killer for me on this bike is the price tag. This bike is an everyday rider for me, but I can imagine some people that just have it sitting most of the time in their garage, only use it for short trips or weekend rides here and there. That is a big price tag to be paying for a bike, and that's the base model. If you're going to go ahead and upgrade it and have all of these other features, if you want to do like a trophy edition, or if you want to have the adjustable cruise control, all of these things are going to be extra. That you're looking at over $30,000 on this thing before you're said and done. That is a huge price tag to be paying for a lot of features that I really don't think have changed a ton the rideability and the features that I want from the motorcycle. So for me, the 1250 is still where I'm staying, and I honestly feel like it just opened up the market, the used market, for anybody out there looking to jump into BMWs and grab you a 1250 at a little bit lower of a price point. So I did leave out a number of great features on the 1300, like the adjustable seat height control, and as well the blind spot detection, which I think are great. But like I said earlier, I don't think it's enough to make me switch from the 1250. I really love the 1250. At the end of the day, too much tech just kind of becomes a little bit of a burden on a motorcycle. I don't want my bike stopping or hitting the brakes by itself. I kind of worry what that feature looks like. So in my completely biased opinion, if you are out there in the market, I still think the R1250GS is the motorcycle to go for. It is my dream bike. It is still my #1 motorcycle, and it is still my #1 purchase in this lineup of adventure motorcycles. So, hope this video helped you guys. Go out there and grab you a 1250GS, or if the 1300 is more your taste, go for it. I will be sticking with my R1250GS. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's it for American Abroad. We will see you guys next time. Ride safe, and we will see you on the pavement.